set of motivation to, in order to achieve enlightenment, benefit all the sentient beings. Therefore, I do my daily practice, I study, then first you know, this house, Lord Buddha's images here. You can think of real Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Dharas, all the, Buddhas here, and you have the front there. And first we recite the 21 Thara one time. 21 Thara is female Buddha, everybody knows. She's very powerful, very quickly. If you want any obstacles to go away, you can pray for Tara. If you want to achieve some realization, we ask her for Tara, please help. Therefore, we can, in order to achieve enlightenment, all the sentient beings, I need to achieve enlightenment. Give the balance for me. Also, all the obstacles go away, all the good things come help for us. Also, tomorrow maybe Harry is ready to the marathon. Are you ready?
Yes.
Then we wish also him to win tomorrow. Anyway, set up, all the Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Tharas, right in front of you. All the mother centuries next to you, we all, pray for the Thara or the Buddhas. Then all the Buddhas' body, speech, mind, they, all the blessings, look like color, different 5 colors. They look like the water coming to the shower, come all our bodies. Then clean or wash all the negative karmas. All our bodies go under the ground. The Lord of Death. He's open the mind, open the mouth. All the division go in his mouth. Also, he got lots of food. Lula their country, motivation. Then all the sentient beings recite together through Tara. 21 Tara, okay? Yeah.
So page 221. O my prostrate to the noble transcendent liberator, homage Taurus heroic, eyes like lightning instantaneous, sprung from opening stamens of the Lord of 3 worlds, pure one lotus. Homage she whose face combines 100 autumn moons at fullest, blazing with light rays resplendent as 1,000-star collection. Homage golden blue one lotus, water-born in hand adorned, giving effort, calm austerity, patience, meditation, virtue. Homage crown of Tathagatas, actions triumph without limit, relied on by conquest children, having reached every perfection. Homage filling with Tutare, whom desire direction and space, trampling with her feet the 7 worlds, able to draw forth all beings. Homage worshipped by the all-world, Chakra Agni Brahma Maru, honored by the host of spirits, corpse raisers, Gandharvas, Yakshas. Homage with their trade and paid sounds, destroying foes' magic diagrams, earthy pressing left out right in, blazing in a raging fireplace. Homage to a very dreadful destroyer of Mara's champions, she with frowning lotus visage, who is slayer of all enemies. Homage at the heart her fingers, adorn her with 3 jewel mudra, like rain masses all excited, all directions wheels adorn her. Homage she so joyous radiant, crown emitting garlands of light, mirthful laughing with Tutare, subjugating Mara's devas. Homage she able to summon all her guardians assembly, shaking, frowning with her home sign, saving from every misfortune. Homage crown adorned with crescent, moon all ornaments more shining, drawback in her hair, not sending out much light eternal. Homage she mid-wreath of blaze like eon ending fire abiding. Right stretched left friend joy surrounds you, truths of enemies destroying. Homage she who strikes the ground with her palm and with her foot beats it. Starting with the letter Om, the 7 levels she does conquer. Homage happy, virtuous, peaceful, she who sealed this peace nirvana. She endowed with Om and Soha, destroyer of the great evil. Homage she with joy surrounded, tearing foes' bodies asunder. Freeze with human knowledge mantra, arrangement of the 10 letters. Homage Ture with seed letter, of the shape of syllable. By foot standing shakes the 3 worlds, Meru, Mandara, and Vinaya. Homage holding in her hand the dear mark moon of Deva Lake. With twice spoken Tara and faith, totally dispelling poison. Homage she whom gods and their kings and the kin are us to honor. Armored in all joyful splendor, she dispels bad kings and conflicts. Homage she whose 2 eyes bright with radiance of sun and full moon. With twice Tara and 2 Tare, she dispels severe contagion. Homage full of liberating power, blessed of 3 natures. Destroys those of spirits, yakshas, and grace forces supreme Ture. These phrases with the root mantras and prostrations thus are 21.
We go page 245, the short Tara and benefit book.
So we'll do the condensed part. Condensed part phrases, page 245. O my prostrate to the goddess, foe destroyer, liberating Lady Tara. Homage to Tara, savior's heroine, with Tutare dispelling all fears, granting all benefits with Ture. To her, the sound Soha, I bow. Whoever is endowed with devotion to the goddess and recites this with supreme faith, remembering it at dawn upon waking and in the evenings, will be granted all fearlessness, will perfectly pacify all negativity, and will eliminate all unfortunate migrations. The multitudes of conquerors will quickly grant initiation. Thus endowed with this greatness, one will eventually reach the state of a Buddha. If affected by the most terrible poison, whether ingested, drunk, or from a living being, just by remembering will one be thoroughly cleansed. If this prayer is recited 2, 3, or 7 times, it will pacify all the sufferings and torments caused by spirits, fevers, and poisons, and other beings as well. If you wish for a child, you will get a child. If you wish for wealth, you will receive wealth. All your wishes will be fulfilled, and all obstacles pacified.
Oh, good. Good. Then also, I mentioned before, we have to study the Tara, only 1 Tara we did. Morning you can, visualization. If you have any initiations of Tara, then also you can visualization yourself to deity Tara. If you don't get any initiations, you can also visualize Tara in front of you. Therefore, morning you can, peaceful Tara, you can visualize it. Then you can recite, if it was available, 21 Tara praise. If not, a short one. If not, Sa Untare Tutare Turisua. This is the peaceful mantra. Peaceful mantra, okay? Untare Tutare Turisua is a peaceful mantra. Also the 245 there, little benefit. If you recite, then all the obstacles or negatives go away. Morning you can try to all the day peaceful. Therefore, you visualization to visualize for the peaceful Tara. Try to peaceful day. Right? And evening, if you have sometimes you have nightmares, before you go back, also you can visualize this to Rapotara. Rapotara. Okay? 21 Tara. There are some Taras peaceful, some Taras also Rappo. No, Kurukulla. She is also Rapotara. Therefore, you can visualization Rapotara and recite the Rappo mantra. I think how many people before? How many people know the Rappo mantra? No one knows. I think every people know, you know. No, the Om Tari Tutari Turi Suwa is a peaceful mantra. The Rappo mantra is Om Tari Namo Hari Hum Hari Suha. You got it? Om Namo Tari Namo Hari Hum Hari Suha. This is a Rappo mantra. You can recite that, you know, the two different mantras. Om Namo Tari Namo Hari Hum Hari Suha. Got it?
Can you spell it?
Om. Okay, you spell it, then maybe I can show you exactly. Now I can use here. I have the text here.
I can do it. Geshe-la.
You have the text?
I have, because I got Damchoe.
You got it?
Damchoe wrote to me with that.
Oh. Can you recite
Let's see. So,
how you spell in English?
Om, right? Namo, or is it Nama or Namo?
Yeah.
Om Namo Tare.
No,
Nama or Namo?
Nama.
Nama. So Om, Om, Nama, Tare, Namo, Hare, Hum, Hare, Soha.
Again, please.
Om,
Yeah, spell also.
O-O-M.
Yeah.
Okay, new word. H-R, I'm sorry, Om, it's an N-A-M-A. So Om, new
Oh,
word,
this is good,
N-A-M-A. Okay, new word, Tare, T-A-R-E. New word, Namo, N-A-M-O. New word, Hare, so same as, so H-A-R-E. New word, Hum, H-U-M. New word, Hare again, same as before. Soha, so however you want to spell Soha, S-V-A-H, but pronounced Soha.
S-O-H-S, that's maybe easier.
Yeah, S-O-H-A,
Yeah.
Soha.
This is a Rappo mantra. Therefore, if you have some nut matters, then you can visualize this and then Rappo Tara, the recite this mantra, then you feel very peaceful. But depends on your mind. You know? 야야 안에 다 로에 인형이야. 아니 예를 지때 나도 시. 아니 손을 해서 와.
So, Acharya Vasubandhu has said that that everything, the whole world, comes from the karma, from the actions of the sentient beings.
또 근데 레타라 안에 셈벨에다 삼벨에 니오데스.
And to that kind of karma, there are two different types. Because intended karma and intention karma.
아니 디 레버탈라 아니 개와다 무개와다 루마테 성으로 이래서
And so that kind of karma also is divided again into like three different types: virtuous, non-virtuous, and neutral karma.
좋아. 근데 이제 디는 다레 성을라 때네 다 레버 성이 되는 거예요.
And so depending on the kind of karma, a bad or good karma, then we get good or bad results.
좋아. 근데 이제 다 지땡기지 야도 상이 차다 내가 되는 식으로 성을했어.
And so therefore, the various word comes from karma, and that's what he meant.
좋아. 어빼 차샤와이나 아니 뭐 가시 아니 나도지 통화선지 얘도 공화들이 뭐 왔어. 대어 코너스 레리 뭐 가시 통화들이 얘도 마와마도 뭐도 대어 다 레레서.
So everything we experience is also the karma, the result of our karma. And so by seeing something, we become very happy. That's our karma. And by seeing something immediately and become unhappy, frustrated, and so forth, that's also a result of our karma.
And Mikaji Lamrocho, Mengdring was.
And some people are very successful and some people are failure. That's also because of their own karmas.
And the Tanga tak channel let it was Tanga K Tapsham and was Lavayinas.
And so everything is karma, right? Everything depends on the karma, so there's nothing we can really do if we think like that.
Right? Karma is all powers karma. He can do this, he can do this. Seems how you call it car. That's called I don't know.
Steering.
Steering. What is it? The Tanga to some sort of lay the Tanga to Tapsham do us, let Karko do us.
So if it's the karma, and if the karma is the one that decides and what happens to us, then there's nothing we can do from our side, right? We might feel like that.
Any other pictures, any Lame to Kawashi and the tree Lama Kawashi and my say, that Lame to the Kawashi and they shine and measure. Tree with Lama, but the shout my death, not that I 관심이지. 다 파내 잡았는데 다 내가 가르치지만 나도 같이 말해야 되지. 내기 딱 어랑 왕차처럼 내려 그러면 딱 나서 요 말해야 되지.
라면 집에 가셔서 뭐 집을 한번 가셔서 말했어.
그렇더라.
아, 처음 봤어요.
내가 빼 다대지 않 못하나. I want Tibetan one better.
Example.
Example I don't know how you say. Anyway, doesn't matter. 근데 이마이자 딱 직단은 강가 내려 두는데 왔어.
So it looks like everything depends on the karma, right? And there's nothing we can do. If we have created bad karma, then we're definitely going to be doomed or experience bad things, and there's nothing we can do to make it good. But who creates the karma? And then what is karma? Karma is the action, right? An activity or action.
내 야포사네 딱 내내 두자서네 딱 받나 미션발라 내가 두자 용거 말이 들어.
And then the action is created by oneself. So one's action cannot affect someone else. Like I create a bad karma and somebody else suffer as a result of my bad karma. That's not possible. So for example, like if I eat, you can't be full, right? You can't get full by my eating, right? But by me eating. Right?
If I eat next to front of you, then you guys may be hungry. Right? if I drink water, you all may have water. Today, by the third, today the less out, today the less I did, Rana Susu, Kans, less suburb with the Korangi, and the late in the race.
So it is the result of one's own action. So whatever result is experienced is the result of the person's own action. So how do we create karma? What makes us create karma? And so the karma, like we mentioned earlier, there are two different types, like the intended karma and intentional karma. So for example, last night or a few days ago, you might have had thought thinking that on Sunday I'm going to go to the center and listen to teaching, right? And so that kind of karma, that kind of thought that you had, it's called intentional karma. And then with that thought, then you make the effort, right? You make the effort, you get into a car, you start the car, you drive, and then you come here and sit here and listen, all these things. That's the intended karma. And so that time you create a karma. And so that's how you create a karma in this kind of long process. It's not something that happens with one thing only.
but the Chojuta, Nikana, Bakuna, Nisayate, Shokene, Gunda, that should be like Chisawi was Tamachiko Sasha Gamaro.
So just like the money that you deposit in the bank, it doesn't come from like a seconds walk, right? It comes from many hours, many days of work.
If you walk second, they can give pay second. That choose it like choose commutation, they choose a gamma second, yeah, partly come to Savi was.
And so it is accumulated by all many different times, the length of time that you have, right? Many minutes, many hours, many days, many weeks like that also.
What the matter? Kuno Tigi, Gunner, that Linga Shavala, Linga Shawa, Yapochena, Lea Bosana. Linga Shawa to Jajana, Lady Jatan, yes.
So with that kind of thought, so when you engage in a bad action, then you create a bad karma. When you engage in that good action, good activities, then you create a good karma.
Hakoso, you understand how you create karma? What? Then also, if your motivation, you say, okay, tomorrow I have to go to fight my boss. What? Sanima, boss, not a shake, do something, Knoshivana, Tinji Knote, Ta Lim Kaji, Sembe Lim Mukiwa is what?
And so tomorrow, if you think that I'm going to complain to my boss tomorrow, then that thought is your intentional karma, bad intentional karma.
That's on the level that China chinging with the knee, doing the Chichomas and Norashati, and it or Linaka, Les, and Samile, that is how you rest.
And so tomorrow, when you go there, actually complain, by speaking to him or her, and that is the intended karma.
And the car took Yapo, that Kunochi Baba, Kuno Yapola can the car to Yapolana, Telateni, and the market is how you rest.
And so with the good motivation, if you say good words from your mouth, then you create a good karma.
Tea driver, Nekaji Drivala, Suzuchi, that Tanya Mitazochi, Suzu, Jobota, Tanya, you reservoir.
And then the temporal result of that, would be that people will become close to you. If you speak nice about them, then they will become close to you, right? That's the temporal result.
And then Tatu and Drivala, that calls Suzu, they were to you, yes. And
then the ultimate result, is that everybody, the person who says nice word, the person who hears nice, people who hear nice word, all become happy.
What? Well, less at two, less at the Nanas with
And so that's how we create karma, and every day, we're creating karma, some kind of karma all the time.
What? You guys understand how they create the karma? Today is a time, Michelin Dushishuna, and it died. Legally, sound of risk.
So if you even hitting somebody with your finger, even if it's a very small pain or almost no pain, it still creates a karma.
But if you are
so if you do that, with angry motivation, out of anger, then of course that's bad. But if you just doing that in a playful way, just playing with somebody, and then that's maybe it doesn't matter.
So you can play, maybe that you are never how is that? How is that you guys sit together?
Just kidding. Just kidding. No, people sitting next to you.
How is it? Neighbors?
Neighbors.
Just you can maybe never sleeping, you can just fit this. When we are in monastery, if you guys not mention, you guys here in a big space, each people, we, before 1992, 1993, 4, 5, the monastery, temples, very, very small. And India is very, very hard, right? You guys know, in South India, special. It's right now, it's very hard. Then we have maybe couple friends that doesn't work sometimes. Their monks very, how to say, tight together, checked each other. Also, they one person always, touch each other, very tight. Then always we have hot tea, hot dal, then bread, then also the temperature is very hot, also the discipline watch, are you talking, are you sleeping? Then we are very, very
difficult.
Then we got sleep. Sometimes, you know, some people very sleep there, we don't know, it's silly or not. Then, you know, we scared to, you know, push them. Some people, you know, sleep just, when they start sleeping, you know, just therefore, you know, it's very, during that time, we can hit each other, you know, don't sleep there, discipline coming. But this kind maybe not create the karma, but usually if you're angry, you can put this, that's how it was.
So you create karma through your body.
Okay, therefore, today what I said, not shock any money, and cutting on the side, today lay Mambo saw Sha Yawa in that thing to it was.
So we create karma all the time like this, you know, from the time we wake up until we go to sleep, or even in the sleep sometime. But anyway, so because we create karma all the time, therefore we have this never-ending result experienced throughout.
And that
result, there are many different kinds as well. So the result of taking life of other being, will be that one will be born in the lower realms. And then even if you're born in the upper realm, because of the good karma that you have created, and then in that lifetime, the result, if you experience the result, if the result of that karma of taking somebody's life is ripened in that lifetime, then it will cause one to have short life, even if one is born as human, God, and so forth. So that's called the ripening result, and then there's called a result corresponding with the cause. Means the result also becomes like similar to the cause. So if you take a life, your life will be taken, and then the result, that's the experience, and the result is corresponding with the cause that's similar with the action will be like, because you have killed, therefore you have built up this habit of killing, and then the result of that becomes again to kill, so that the killing also becomes the result of killing again. So for example, like if you're a fisherman, then the father is fisherman, then the son also becomes fisherman. So usually it's yourself who is getting that influence because you have done it, and it becomes easy for you to do it again. So that is the result of having done it before. So that makes you, so that's even worse, because then you keep on creating more and more negative karmas. And then it can also influence other people, like the father influences the son. If the father is a fisherman, then that can influence the son to become a fisherman also. And then, like for example, if you created karma of practicing generosity, making offerings, and so forth, giving offerings and generosities, then also in this life or in the future lives, you become wealthy, rich, and so forth. And then people who have practiced patience before and will have good forms in this life.
Right? Today is a kanji leg kanji sawa the tigin driver and tagana chegi or this one.
So whatever kind of karma that one has created, one will be experiencing similar kind of results.
Today is a nama kanji tati lila to shima kanji tati sana to use to sono yes.
And so also they're saying that whatever you have now, whatever kind of body you have now is the result of the karma you have created in the past, right? So if you have a good body now, that means you have created good karma in the past. If you have a bad body now, then that means you have created bad karma in the past. So they're saying that to see what you have done in the past, you can look at your body now. And to see what's going to happen to you in the future, you can look at your mind now.
That we all, because we have all different karmas, we have all different superstition, number yatsu.
So because we have different karma created by each of us individually, and therefore each of us are different individually. Right? So in terms of the look, in terms of the body, size, and everything, it's very different, right? So for example, if you were to grow a flower and give it the same amount of moisture, the water, fertilizers, and so forth to them, then they will all grow the same, right? So of course there's differences in terms of how the causes and conditions are met together for that flower to grow. But in general, you will see that if you give the same amount of everything, then everything will grow the same.
Now maybe we can make some paper or cup. Today you want to tell us why not? So
if you are producing some kind of material like paper cup, this all is created by a machine. So you mix everything in the same amount, right? So if you put everything in the same amount, then you have the same size of cup of every size. Those things is in our hand, in our control, so we can measure the amount and then make it just exactly the same size and so forth. But the karma, is different. Each individual will create karma in different ways. So therefore, the result that each individual experience will be different.
Right? What do you think? Some people have very short, small nose, some have very big nose. I mean, some have, usually Asian people have small nose. The Western people have big, therefore, there's different karma. They've got different actions, different result. But in this, top chamber,
So karma is very powerful, but depends on how you created it also.
Okay?
So therefore, believing the karmic law of cause and effect and absorbing it is very important. And so, it is not like, we are completely controlled by our karma. We do have, a free will, to create a different kind of karma.
Anyway, everybody wish to not tattoo develop.
So let alone the ultimate result, even our temporary result, we all want to have that temporary result also, right? Like, we all want to be rich, don't we? And so becoming rich, depends on the karma again also, right? Of course, there are karma and condition, the cause and condition. The condition is like finding a good job, meeting the right person and so forth, but the cause is the practice of generosity. So if you haven't practiced that, in the past life, then no matter how good conditions you meet in this life, you will not become rich.
아니 나도 강가다 나봐야고 강가 저기로 왔어.
And same with the good looks, right? We all want to have a good look.
아니 저야고 건거 그랬어.
So for that, we have to practice patience well.
How do you get patient? Usually everything is fine, we are big patient, right? If something going wrong, then patient is switch off. Right? Therefore, what call it? 다 나라서 지금 문제가 능하대 지금 토 조회명이 영어돼야돼 나라서 되게 저 조회명가 쏴대요 대용을.
And so, it feels like we're experiencing these results endlessly, because that's because we have created karma, endless karma.
Right? For example, licking the here water, we just put something here, then there's some other place come in. That's just how can't call it Makawachi thing. Do the cotton or cotton was.
So if you don't stop it where it's coming from, instead you just try to block it here and there, then it will not be stopped, right?
Right? Water leaking every different place. If you cover here, then they come from different areas. If you can cover all the top where they're going down, you cover that, they'll never come out, right? For example,
And so therefore, to stop it completely, is to not create negative karmas at all.
But it is not valuable, right? What do you think? It's not valuable. We always, we 나라서 가는 나타 묘모죠. 제대로 나도 샘거, 나도 샘지죠. 샘 묘모죠 제대로.
That's because we are under control of our mind, and then our mind is under the control of the delusions, right? Afflictions.
Wait, mind and body, who has more power? Mind has more power, right? If body is very tired, body very difficult, but mind says, oh, I have to do that. Body can follow it, If body like to do that, but mind doesn't say, oh, I don't know that. Then body has no power.
So therefore the mind is very important. So we have to examine our mind well, and we have to subdue our mind.
Okay? Subdue
So subdue the negative minds, like the attachment, anger, jealousy, ignorance, and so forth.
Don't subdue to your little compassion, little bodhicitta, little kind of words, loving kindness. Don't subdue their commands, okay? Otherwise, we have nothing left of.
So that's about the karmic law of cause and effect, which is very important.
Okay, now we go to the book. Maybe we stop here, maybe 2-3 weeks.
So last time we talked about the 8 worldly concerns, right? So these are like the being happy if you acquire and unhappy if you do not. Oh, the page is 296.
Do you know which heading it is?
It is under the
125.
125 heading. So being happy if you acquire and unhappy if you do not. Being happy if comfortable and unhappy if not. Happy if famous and unhappy if not. Happy if praised and unhappy if criticized, and so forth. So those are the 8 worldly concerns. And so like here you see that being happy if comfortable and unhappy if not. So comfortable, like being happy if you're if comfortable. So this is not kind of comfortable that you wish for others to have, right? That's the love, that you wish others to be happy and comfortable. That kind of comfortable is good, to have. Good to have. So here is talking about yourself. So if you feel comfortable to do, then you feel happy. If you don't feel comfortable, you feel unhappy. That was not good.
소소 되는 이와 야무나 또 야무나 땅 야무나 그 그래서 뭐 되는 이니 다 감으로 되라고 그래서 봐.
And so by seeking food, shelter, clothes, or praise and so forth, feeling happy and being happy if you are comfortable and not happy if you're not, and that's what it means.
와, 먼저 가디나 참아리 와도 또그 땅 가는 걸 때는 거예요. 와서 또다 큰다 땅.
So usually, all the complaints, all the troubles that we face or we experience is because of these three things, right? The food, the clothing, and fame.
와, 저거 대신 다 대답하다 먹은 거예요. 와서.
So of course there are so many other things, if we were to go into the details.
와, 나 풀세는 집중 가도 지다 가고. 다 배나. 말도 쇼게네 고다바 깔리게 가르쳐 줘야 그래서 또그 땅선 그치 되어요.
And so while we're working so hard, from early in the morning till night, is for the sake of these three things, right? For the food, clothing, and fame.
Right? You're working to maybe yourself or your family. teacher 코나도 다 코나기 다 남이 되게 제대로 가지 쇼게 고다 내가 좀 또 되나 되어 봐.
And so whether you're working for yourself or for your whole family, it's all for these three purposes, right? And therefore, the problem also comes from that. And so if you're feeling happy, happy if the sentient beings are comfortable, and unhappy if they are not, then that's not an inwardly concern.
We are happy to our community growth. They are happy, we are happy.
So we usually feel happy if our friends and relatives are happy, and unhappy if they're not happy. So we take out the enemies. Right? So enemies, is opposite. We feel unhappy if they're happy, and we feel happy if they're unhappy.
Right? This is a completely wrong. Buddhism says this is wrong, because all the sentient beings equal to. No one wants any sufferings. No one wants any trouble, but we say, okay, this is my ones, they need to happen. This is my enemies, go over, they need to make trouble, I'm happy, Okay, that is not the Chuji Kalapsa in Bas. Momology and Nepalo Shona and going, they margin of Magachi. That do not go, and Nyamboshina Gawa, Margina Magawa. The Chitoratana Gawashi, Margina Magawa. What do you want to do, my rest? What?
So just like they said in Nagarjuna's, says by the eight-worldly concerns, we mean the worldly thoughts now occurring or not, comfortable or discomfort, comfort or discomfort, fame or notoriety, praise or criticism. Keep a level head. These are not subjects for your thoughts.
Darky, Yelman, darky, Yel number, numerous, dark day. So it's means like it's not something that you should pay attention to, you should have interest in, and so that keeping a level head means get rid of those thoughts. She's about the and what? A lot of it, Kovan talk of Tronchen and Chiti Roman Duke. The transition was in Denada, lam-rim, that's what it was.
And then compare this with the story about Geshe and the offering of turquoise. Lim Rebbe also said in samsara, the city of preconceptions, wander the zombies of the eight worldly concerns, and you are in a terrifying charnel ground, have your guru perform an exorcism.
고와 남도가 정제나서 단 고와서도 조다는 남도가 봐 소샤버려 와서 또배 따선 정제 때는 아스 단 지대 주지저로만 단 나도 문마신이 야롱인데 다 로나라 그래 와서 오늘 지대 주지저로만 죽은도 와서 그래서 다 대체 지스로만 다 사전에는 도 와서 다 라마 저는 지 몇번 소통나 로만네도 단 조나고 그래서 그래서
So the samsara, the city of conception, preconceptions. So it's the samsara is the whole like a preconception, right? There's no solid thing as samsara that you can point to, and where the zombies of eight worldly concerns. So these thoughts are like the zombies. The zombies are the people who arise from death, right? So after they die, they become alive again. So that is like the zombies. So this is so people in this world, people with all this eight worldly concern, it's like a place where you bury or cremate the dead bodies of the human beings. So it's like a charnel ground. And so if you want to perform exorcism, like prayers and pujas and so forth, then have your guru perform to specify these thoughts and the eight worldly concerns. Have you heard of zombies? Are you afraid of zombies? So if you are afraid, then the real zombie is the eight worldly concerns. This is the one that you should be afraid of.
But our best friend, we close that. And 나도 별에 야로나서지 때 여대 때 라마들 때 매워서 고도 딱 뚫리들이 난 그래서 그래서 딱 라마문이 옛날에 지대 주지대 막 매워서 그랬어.
So in Tibet, there were a lot of zombies before, and the lamas performed the exorcism to subdue the zombies. And so here, this Rinpoche is saying that eight worldly concerns are like the zombies. And so if we want to have the lamas perform the exorcism to subdue these zombies, then it should be these eight worldly concerns.
Okay. 시에서 말은 최대 루단에 루푸치라 되고 다 최대 루단가 최대 루단에 지대 주제래서.
So ignore this life. So not ignoring this life, not giving up this life is the eight worldly concerns. So it says ignore this life and devote yourself wholeheartedly to the Dharma.
Okay. 최대 루단에서 말이야 소수가 사상다치 가오니고 강함에 와서 육ሾ라고 말했어.
So this is what eight worldly concerns. That's the thought that we should give up. Not give up all our friends, relatives, and so forth when we say give up this life.
This is more correct. What that's 다 텐들루는 다 로고 푸드 줄라 되고 그래서 로고 푸드 다 골 맞아도 다 주죠 그래서 와.
So give up this life and devote yourself wholeheartedly to the Dharma.
다들 당이 취지되는 너의 칼라텍 말하나 또라고 말하면서 something 뭐래 와서 디제스 초월라서 문준지 삼바주나 대라마주나 냠 르냐미 다 아니 추부됐다 짱하고 그래서.
And so then afterwards you might think that if I devote myself wholeheartedly to the Dharma, then there will be no support to me. People, there will be no support for myself. Where will I find food and so forth. And so then he says, feel that it will be all right even if you cannot, and be prepared to become a beggar or pauper.
Are you going to think this? If I do serious practice, maybe then I don't walk, then I don't get food. Are you guys worried that? But that they can that tumble chechu goes to what? Chupu that tumble take over it.
Yeah, so be prepared to become to become a pauper.
Okay, don't Carol. Never much than
Don't quit your job.
Don't kill your job, okay? Look at this text, oh, I need to real practice. Then don't kill out your job, okay? We are not that level. That's what you want to do. You know the channel, you have to change it. That's just kare. Ninju posa ro chena ya.
So if you're not at that level, don't try to do that. So sometimes people feel like, oh, now I understand Dharma. Dharma is the most important thing, and I'm going to quit all my job and everything, and I'm going to just dedicate to the Dharma. And then they give up job and do like that. So, but they're not at that level. If they do that, then then later they will suffer. So it's not a good idea to do if you are not at that level. And then later you might blame to the Dharma and say that, oh, Dharma made me become popular. So if you are able to give up this life or give up the 8 worldly concerns, then you are at that level to be able to do that. But we are not at that level, right?
Are you guys? I'm not that. Are you guys? No. Someone kind of true with the tumble thing go race. The Daja Tembe China Chima Rabdishun, Jathan Jogan of Melton, Kilian and Echi, Tulu Chibon, Kone, shoot about the Louis Puchura Tevares, shoot tumble Tevares, the Jeremy Tevares,
and so, so you ultimately, you give up everything and then, give up this life and then, devote yourself into the Dharma. And then, so as a Dharma practitioner, then you give up everything and all this concern about this life and be prepared to become a pauper or a beggar. And so just like he says, our teacher, Buddha Shakyamuni also, who gave up everything, he left his wife, queen, and a prince, and the kingdom and everything, and then become a pauper. He just grabbed the cloth from a trash and wore that, and then run around seeking Dharma.
And then Sanji Jumden, the Sanji that the Jitel Tani, Matan, Karakovius, Karimunich.
So what do you think? Buddha Shakyamuni became Buddha, or Prince Dharma became a Buddha by giving up the 8 worldly concerns, or without giving up the 8 worldly concerns? How do you think become Buddha?
He gave up, right? And just a matter of that, Chichimuchi, Sanjivar, the Jishuji, Sanjivaris.
So what about Milarepa? Did he become Buddha by being rich or by being poor?
Poor. That is all.
So these are the examples, that the disciples like ourselves should take.
That Chubu Tola Tebayana, and it Seman in the Shaman, the Shaman Joe to the Yamada Shuana, that Chudish and the cover in the Shana Shazameta, and a Trump with the Tashatego, yes.
And so the ultimate of the mind should be towards the Dharma, the ultimate of the Dharma should be towards the pauper, and then the ultimate of the pauper should be towards the death. So people might say, oh, if I become pauper or beggar, and then I might not find anything to eat or wear and so forth, then I might die. And then in that case, even if I have to die, let it be, let me die for the sake of the Dharma. So that way ultimately you take the pauper to the death.
And the Chuba, Chube Toa Chene, that Doshi to the mess, that Chuba Timber, that I also know mother. Chuban Teni Begi Chuchene, that Doshi Sema here, Tamiyoma is.
As it says here, if I become a pauper from devoting myself wholeheartedly to Dharma, when I die because I will not get any food. For instance, you should be prepared to die as a beggar and say to yourself, if I die while undergoing hardship for the sake of Dharma, then so be it. So that's the ultimate thought that you should have as you become beggar, to die for the sake of Dharma. So this is, it says, should you ignore this life like that, there are no stories of Dharma practitioners starving to death after they stop earning their livelihood. And so you haven't heard of anybody who is a genuine practitioner who died of starvation. So it's not possible for someone, a real practitioner, to die like that. So of course, it's not talking about social practitioner like ourselves. If you're a really genuine practitioner, then it is not possible to die of starvation.
대 매우진데 간난 땜버준데 되지 다 콜로지에 자고 아니 중처 제발인지 손놈 대다 알아서 되자서라다 되게 추다 남도 지금서 모셔야 돼다 담이 셔요 말이에요.
So then here it says the reason is because our kind teacher dedicated to us merited worth 60,000 rebirths as universal emperor, so that his followers will not starve to death. Even in times of such famine, that pearls have to be buried for flour, and as they say. If the great meditator does not roll down the hill, noodles will roll up to him.
Today, mother, I have one story. Usually, then in Dharamsala, they place too. Then the zoo Karan, two good Tamsanga, look dancing at usually.
So here they are talking about the practitioners who have given up desire, attachment towards food, clothing, and fame. So if you have given up these things and you are seriously meditating up on the mountains, and if you don't roll down, then the noodles will roll up.
It is impossible, right? How they come, fruits come out there. They pay Shachana, Dharamsala, Masutari, Samba Mobo, your race. And then Samba was the Lachita. And then you pay what she did, a country, Samba was a touch in the chief. Shalada, touch ping more shrine.
So that is, of course, it doesn't mean that, like literally roll down a mountain. Right? It means like, if you don't give up your Dharma practice, if you don't, break your vows, and if you don't, disrobe and so forth. So if you keep your vows purely and practice seriously, then you will always have somebody, giving you food all the time. So like, for example, in Dharamsala, there are many, in the mountains, there are many retreaters, people that are doing retreat there all the time, and people always look up to them, respect them, because they give up their life and dedicate their life for the Dharma, and people always respect them and make offerings to them. So there's no scarce of food for them. They always receive some offerings all the time.
But some that she and Kashi do good something and live down Matoni. Some locality too much.
And so some people, so they're not able to stay there forever. For a long time, they're tired of that life, or they're not able to give up, the desire for the attachment, the desire for the food, clothing, and the fame, and then they come down. So they come down and then they disrobe, or they come down and then they become a merchant, go down and walk. Then they have to go walk, right? So now they're not out there, nobody making offering to them, so they have to find their own food, and they end up becoming merchant.
Oh, then these are that dog Thompson blue Matawayana, Takaji touching the young Thomas.
And so, so as long as you don't roll down like that, in that sense, then there's always somebody making offering to you, so there will be no scarce of food for genuine practitioners.
Lama Chemboji, the Yama Chemboji, Suji, Karina Kaji, Prisa Ara, touching the cherry was.
And so, we do feel that, right? Also, if there's a genuine practitioner or a big lama who's practicing very well, then we always have this feeling to make offering to them. What can I do to make offering to this lama? We always, try to look for means to find offerings to them.
Right? Are you going to do this? This is not to do it. This is not to
So this is, from the disciples' side, they feel that very strongly, right? And so like that, if we also can dedicate ourselves, our life, wholeheartedly to the Dharma, then there will be no scarce of food, clothing, and fame. So if you are not able to give up, you are not ready to give up things, and then try to give up everything else, then then you might get into trouble. So try not to do that.
Okay. That is then Geshe Medi chance. Ngata number Geshe me ko ta ta ma ji me la. Right? This cosm semata and chance. Ta ja mombochi same you mean miss. And ne tan michila ya. And michilas draka jiche to me shin you pay. Mutu nimilada jiche things tata milaka the towers. In a Tikavayanaya, Nimeko Chabachi, Semokama Kanjana, Seku, Yabusha Yagames, Tati Chichipi, Seku, Puma Meta, Tata Chi or not a Sekujan, Mem the Jats with Nono Sons, Rawa, Shimba Morojan the Lojans, two good time to the time, Tamos roller coaster humor, Moroja the Lowayanaya, and then the Shakajan coin, Tunde Tam. To go down to Chasanchi, Shagula the roller tamanoji and Tamu do say.
And also Geshe Ngawang said here, when I was the layman, I wore a sharp sword, arrow, and spear at my belt, but I had many enemies and few friends. When I was the bachelor, I had a field that could yield 40 bushels of wheat, so people gave me the nickname that 40 bushel bandit. I used to hold up people by day and rob villages at night. But even so, food and clothes were scarce, and my cows gave no milk. Now that I practice Dharma, I have short of neither food nor clothing, and my enemies are peace. As he said, if craving roars like a human corpse, the things you desire gather around like vultures.
Right?
So we don't like corpses, right?
Right? We scared. Even the who will close for us, that will be caught and be scared. We don't want to see what you guys usually read. Tendijiman, not doing that in the chasmos. Yena young, not to pay any much to take a shelter was. And then, doing it so, that's Shadow and Munko. Roland,
and so the human corpses, we're very afraid of. We always want to be far away from them and so forth. And like in Tibet, when people die, there's a thing called sky burial, where you chop the body and then feed it to the birds like vultures and so forth. So whenever there is the body fair, the vultures will all come from everywhere, and gather around there. So just like the vultures gather around the corpses, the things that you wish, if you give them up, they will come like the vultures towards the corpses.
Okay. 다 지름모전 틀에 나가는 야바다 텔루타마데 쇼마레스 라와 사자바지가 지랑말라 완전적한다 삼대와는 저 강시비 시위체 로토지 최대 그시나 시위체 저다 시위체 다 시부 정보라 때봐서 가든 다 아니 가든비 아니 푼을 쪄다 고베지 봐서 말레스.
And also it says here the good works of people like Tsongkhapa were as vast as space. This is because they ignored this life and practiced Dharma properly. According to one story, Sakyapa, who didn't realize this, thought instead that Jiramachi had achieved the power to amass wealth, and so even asked him, what is the deepest power of all for amassing wealth? When you die and your corpses has been disposed of, do you need even the smallest material possessions? At the time of death, completely resign yourself to it and say to yourself, I'm going to die, no matter what I do, so let me die. And also it says you might think that people will have to be prepared to get rid of your corpses. In fact, they will be nauseated by it and will do anything to get rid of it, have no doubt that your body will be taken from your deathbed. Thus, make up your mind to ignore the eight-worldly concerns, and you will receive this life's comfort, happiness, and fame as if by the Lord. So, if you yearn for the eight-worldly concerns, you are a worldly person. If you ignore this life, you are a Dharma practitioner. Geshe Poto asked Thubten, what is the fine dividing line between Dharma and non-Dharma? And don't reply, it is the Dharma. If it becomes an antidote to delusions, it is not Dharma. If not, if it does not, if the worldly people do not agree with it, it is Dharma. If they do, it is not Dharma.
Okay? 그래서 다 너도 취취해도 다 그래서. 원래 다 취는 저는 그래서 가져다 다 용어면 용어라도 취는 취말해서 와.
So what do you think what we're doing is Dharma or not?
근데 취단지 때 장가래. 다 나서 또 땀섬 되는 예와다. 근데 다 취바다 다 때로 당거는 장가셔서 말해서.
So, what do you think what we do is Dharma or not? So if it becomes against the delusion, then it's Dharma. If not, it's not Dharma. If it is for this life, then it's not Dharma. If not, it's a Dharma. And so whatever we do, the secular way of life and the Dharma is very different.
그리고 간도 세제다 지가 모두 시제서 조장하는데 추질라 투듬진 되게 추식을 남래서 샘지든지 전부다 차반을 마시고 온다 정말에서 세대로도 주 남다 용답지 또 처음부터 보고만 돼.
Call it, And so the point is that the Dharma and the worldly things are opposite. Who has time both to do their recitations and to maintain the household. Our bodies are a pure reflection of those of the Dharma practitioner, and our minds are no different from those of worldly lay people. We make the eight worldly concerns our basic practice.
다 처음 또 보면은 제대로 마땅나 추가하시가 제대로 쇼르베 그런 거는 이때 추진 고년 또그 땅선지 셴바 루당거
So having turned away from this life, the main technique for practicing Dharma purely is to meditate on death and impermanence. So if you do not ignore this life, any Dharma you practice will involuntarily slip back into this life. You must not let your head be turned by eight worldly concerns.
대통이 태장 자와 계산제는 배제 노선시 자와 가성기 도저리 아니 자와 계산제는 도저리 처음부터 그런 저거다 죽은 남성에서 그런 인사를 요 말에서 하여튼 저거를
So you must ignore your craving for food, clothing, and reputation. Says the criteria for having done this is if you want to be like the seventh Dalai Lama Kelsang Gyatso or Panchen Lama Losang Yeshe. The seventh Dalai Lama said that he won only his Vajra bell and 3 ropes, nothing else. And there is a story that even an offering of 100 ignorance of silver did not please the Panchen Lama Losang Yeshe. So among these 3, the food, clothing, and reputation, the most difficult one to give up is the reputation. He says we might not necessarily crave for 3, food, clothing, or reputation. Some of us may be fettered by just one of them. Others are 2, others indeed by all 3. But the hardest of the 3 to abandon is the desire for reputation. Many people, no matter who they are, scholars, monks, teachers, meditators, want a good reputation or to be famous.
아니 고라얀 사바와든 삼토티 이티 차이나야 땀세데다 삼샤데그레스 뭐다 만제되는 용거리죠.
So some people who are doing retreat, even though they might have given out because it's still difficult for them to give up the fame. And that's why some people they write on their door, retreater. So people like they have this in their mind somewhere they have this desire for people to know that they are retreaters, so that kind of fame.
한 단어 control은 조화를 비워야냐? 다 지금 또 뭐지금 통화야 보통 그랬더니 삼마다. 근데 메토드로 딱 들이더니 다까지 루당사 가르쳐 시라레스.
So so even if you are making some offerings, doing some practice, in the back of your mind you might have this thought that, oh, if I make offerings, people will think that I'm a good practitioner, and so they will think good about me if I make offerings, so if I do some practice, if I meditate, or if I practice generosity and so forth. So we always have this thought, expectation, of some good, reputation from these works.
어떻게 다 이거 저 간제 제대로 당고 그래. 뒤끌로 다지 또 땅선데 대땅 맞는 땅은 양이야 보이고 말해서 다 도도로 되래서.
So you have to give up this life, and in order to be a genuine practitioner, and for that it means like giving up food, clothing, and reputation of this life.
되게 다 조사고 저 가는 다 처음 다 왔던 것 같아. 대체는 아니 도도로 당고 그래서.
And so the biggest obstacle that we're not able to do that is because of not thinking about death and impermanence. So if we're able to think about that, then that can help us to have no desire for these three things.
오케이. 다 되게 다 드리나도 대사지를 때 사와 있어. 사지와 있어. 아도 어디 됐어.
So I think with that we have completed that heading now.
그래. 다들 대샤 드리는 거다 저한테 가서 홍보 왔어.
So we'll stop here and then we'll go through that question answer from the homework.
Okay? Who has the homework?
I have it.
Yeah, who has the written right?
I had, the first question, what are the four main headings of the lam-rim?
It's easy. Don't look at the text, okay? I will hear. Okay? Who's giving? No one? Yeah, go ahead.
Meditation, small scope, medium scope, large scope.
Meditation on small scope.
No, just meditation is one, small scope, medium scope, and large scope.
범죄, 기분 충분히 쳤었지.
말은 대말했어.
Not that.
Not that. Okay?
And the four main headings, right? The
Four
main
men
headings of the-
headings on the loud text. Four men. But I'm also mulli put the was.
The two main headings of human beings, what? Male and
What?
female. It's like that.
Okay? Yeah. Maybe he.
The greatness of the authors,
Okay.
or greatness of the, was there?
Let's go ahead.
Yeah.
Greatness.
You got it.
Greatness of the Dharma, how to teach and listen to the teachings, and then how the students are to be taught, or the instructions that students are to be taught.
Chanso.
제가 뭐죠? 저기 저. 아니, 가서 진행한 지다 제소다. 아니, 저 너무 지다 제소서.
Good. Are you also same or different?
Same.
Good job. Everybody agree? No. There. Money कैसे मारना? लाने को चाहिए सही लोग सुन को बोले तो.
So even if you're not able to memorize the whole book, at least memorize those four headings.
Right? It's usually if you do study, there's nothing. Okay.
Damchoe, maybe you could repeat just one more time the headings.
So the first one is the greatness of the author, to show that the teaching has immaculate source.
아니, 나와라 기마지 주시죠.
And then the second one is the greatness of the Dharma, in order to generate faith or respect towards the Dharma.
아니, 제와 예든지 주변 지다시부터.
And then how to teach and listen to the Dharma that has these two greatnesses.
아니, 남방이 로마 지다시부터 봐서.
And then how to lead the actual disciples of the instruction.
일단 네가 주크에서 잡아고 채워서 듣는 잡아고 소리했어. 저거 이발 되나?
So here, and so the second question, who is not the same question from the homework, but a follow-up question from this question. So if we're talking about the greatness of the author, to show that the teaching has immaculate source, who is the author here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tsongkhapa? Who said Tsongkhapa?
I think.
Okay,
Okay, you said Tsongkhapa, then who's the others?
Atisha.
You said Atisha, then who's the others?
Buddha Shakyamuni?
You said Buddha Shakyamuni, then Okay. Okay. Atisha. You Atisha, what are you? Sangha. She's Sangha. You put Sangha. Buddha. Then? Any? No, if you have some doubt, you can just send, no problem. Doesn't matter, you know. It's also confusing, you know. Any? No. No.
Pabongka Rinpoche.
Pabongka Rinpoche. Then Dalai Lama. Then Shantideva. Okay. Okay. This author is the Atisha. Yeah. Atisha is.
So it's the Lama Atisha, right? So we talked a lot about the biographies of Lama Atisha at the beginning of this text, right?
Okay, one more question.
So what is the text that he composed, Lama Atisha? You know, so that became the source of this lam-rim.
Yes.
The lamp of the path.
The lamp of the path.
Lamp. The lamp.
Good.
Lam-rim. Lamp of the path, that's good.
Everybody, many different? Different? This is the Alila, lam-rim said, but it's usually there as well.
Yeah, it's the lamp of the path, the enlightenment by Lama Atisha.
And Pyola Sanji Tambachi Tar, then man yam, then the Pyola Jabokasi, Javala Pet, George Padres, and the Tar. Peshola Pimble, choose solo cheese, that George can the somewhere else.
And so the teachings, you know, about the Dharma of the Buddha, you know, degenerated in Tibet, and then whatever was left was not very pure. And you know, so the king of Tibet sent many scholars, you know, to India to learn, and then they intend to invite a scholar, you know, to come and teach and make all these, you know, the dharmas that's up and down to become very clear. And then they invited Lama Atisha, and then the king of Tibet, Changju, who requested Lama Atisha to teach something that would be of great benefit to the mind of the Tibetans, and then he, you know, taught at that time the lamp of the path to enlightenment. So that teaching that he gave at that time, you know, which was very beneficial and basic and beneficial for people at that time, was you know, known as the lam-rim or lamp of the path to enlightenment.
And then take and travel that teaching job, that one and teaching zero.
Yeah.
Teaching zero, that is not that moment, that cheaper job.
So the 8 main commentaries, you know, of this text, the lamp of the path to enlightenment. So there are 8 main. So there's the 8 main lam-rims, and then now there are maybe those are the measure and commentaries, you know, of this lamp of the path to enlightenment. And then they expanded it, you know, then other lamas also commented on it, and now there are 18 different commentaries that you can find.
And Nani, Longmaga Davados, my daughter, Tandini, Chikasha, that Talu, take too much nauseous.
And so last year, when His Holiness, or last year, so His Holiness gave teaching, he decided, was requested to give the teachings on these 18 commentaries of lam-rim, 18 lam-rim texts, and he gave some last year, and this year he's going to give some also.
Oh, that. And so, Chita Chanjo Lamdra, Lam Chemo, Demi Chozo, Depsundo, Chozo, Mashako was. Reva, Chanjo Lamrich. And then their number of Johnny, that the Jim
And so the commentary, you know, to the lamp of the path to enlightenment, so that's one of the main ones, the Lama Tsongkhapa's the great exposition of the stages of the path to enlightenment, and then this is the commentary, you know, even to Dharma also. So this is the liberation in the palm of your hand.
Okay, now you got it. Who's the author? Atisha. Okay, what he wrote? Lamp of the path. Okay. Lamp of the path. Okay. If you guys don't understand, Then if you guys want to learn more, you can see Atisha's story in this book, okay? Okay, then second question. Who's ready?
What differentiates the practices of the three scopes?
Okay? Okay? Say, whatever you think, just say, okay?
The motivation behind it.
Good.
The motivation behind it?
Okay. Then, other? If I'm not saying yes, not otherwise everybody, then follow then. Then any other?
Motivation.
Motivation.
For oneself in this life. A
Motivation.
concern for just this life is one of them.
Motivation. Anybody follow that? What different?
Yeah, it's differentiated by motivation. Right?
Correct. Then, what different motivations? Then you guys divide? You know, she get very good job. But second question, you will have to go court. But it's, even you know this very good. I'm very,
So I have a praise for you.
even maybe you can ask maybe some Tibetan lay people say, what is Tibetan? They don't have any idea. You welcome, some mostly they're not, you know, they didn't study this class.
So if it's differentiated by motivation, then what are the motivations?
Yeah, correct? Yeah.
The one's for this life only, that's the small scope.
Okay.
This life.
Okay.
Then the second one
Say this sometime.
is for your own. Then the second one would be more for all sentient beings. And then the third would be to get enlightenment if you can't help other beings until you yourself are enlightened. I'm not sure if maybe that's the middle scope, but I'm not sure. I know the first one is just for this life and just your own nirvana.
Okay. One's for
우리 소수체들 세대체들 회사. 이거들 다 버체들 회사. somebody 가려 뭐 하고 소수 해버리는 거죠.
Okay, good. Close that. No, it's good, it's very good.
I know, but I'll give it
Okay, you know this. Okay, yeah.
I'll give this a try. One is for just this life, as she said. One is for a more favorable rebirth for yourself, and then the third is for the altruistic intention for the benefit of all beings.
세대체들 회사. 아무도 세대들 이번에 세심을 회사. 선보대 되는 근데 탐지기 된다는 사인 못하고 회사.
Okay, then any other? Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
For a better rebirth, which I think people had, to escape cyclic existence, so you're not to not be reborn in cyclic existence is a second, and the third is to free all beings from sin.
What's first?
The first one is to get is to be reborn yourself in to get a better rebirth for yourself, not to fall into the lower realms.
Good, then any others?
I have a question.
No question. First one.
I don't understand. Okay. No question?
First we have to finish this, okay?
How about this?
Yeah, what this?
I don't understand scopes. It's something that I don't.
Scopes.
Is there other word for that?
Patilu.
Like capable beings, small capable being, medium capable being, and a great capable being.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or groups. Big group, small group.
Yes, thank you.
Okay? Yeah.
Watch it.
Yes?
Okay, the first one is to stop suffering in this life, to escape samsara. The second one is to not get a bad rebirth, and then the third one is to seek enlightenment for the sake of all sentient beings.
아무도 죽이 된다라 가리니 만들어서 이번에 얘네 겨워지 마라 겨워 두자문에 해서
Good, okay. I think you all very close. All very close. Our plan is walking to here. And both good. Anyway, that's let Tambo there as well. And then Yansong do not teach the Gavach.
So the first one is at least thinking about the next life. So anything thinking about this life is not even Dharma. So it doesn't fall into any scopes. At least the small one is thinking about the next life. So being afraid of the lower realm suffering, and then in order to escape from that, then you engage in the practice Dharma to have a good rebirth in the future. So that's the small scope.
And read Dan COVID Neso doing it, Tana Penam, Dan COVID doing COVID tag on the side of Gavach given reason.
And then the medium scope, is someone who thinks that even if I'm born as a human being or God in the next life, I still have to suffer, and I have to go through the suffering of birth, aging, sickness, death, and so forth. So I have to free myself entirely from the entire cycle existence. And so therefore, then I'm going to practice this. And so that is the medium scope.
What is that? You COVID doing Tana, that's Simchi, and then COVID doing Mata Mamusha, the Simchi Tamchu Cheta, that's Saja Komoto, Simchi Tamchu Saja Kudu, Gavaching the La, and
So then the great scope, thinks that it is not sufficient for myself alone to be free from cyclic existence and be happy for myself alone. And there are all these numberless sentient beings who have been very kind to me, and I have to repay their kindness. And the best way to repay their kindness is to lead them all to the state of full enlightenment. And then that I cannot do by myself alone now. In order to be able to do that, I have to achieve enlightenment first myself. And so for that reason, I'm going to do this practice. So if you do that, then that becomes the great scope.
Good. Now, Clip, before you guys really walking here, it's good, some ideas, good. That is. Okay, third question. Third question.
What are the main practices of the path of the small scope?
Okay, I think this may be a little complex again. Who would like to say? Yeah, go ahead.
I'll take a guess.
Yeah.
I think it's guru yoga, taking refuge, and meditating on death and impermanence.
Are you thought of that? Okay. And who? Then any others? No more? Someone add, or maybe someone against?
Those sound good. I was going to maybe add moral discipline and purification practices.
Then any?
I'm not sure if the guru devotion is part of small scope. Maybe not.
That's taking refuge.
Okay.
Meditation on karma.
Meditation karma, lineage. It's good.
Karma, intender, intention.
Lineage, then?
Understand the value of the human rebirth.
Are you guys agreeing?
Yeah,
Yeah, margin is correct. It's correct. The subject corner is the subject. Legend of Chawam Matapano, and landed at Jambo. And so you rest. She did a little command to go. Take a chance on this. Give children come tomorrow as well.
So yeah, so that includes the practice all that you said, the guru devotion, the practice of death and impermanence and so forth, and refuge and so forth, and the karma and other practices as well, the profit and rebirth, all these things. And then guru devotion is yes, but it's not only small scopes practice, it's the practice of all three scopes.
Good, you guys very, very good. Good. 나도요, 얘들 끈지 이제 tension지. 아니, 다 신이들 또 차상 얘들 강하게 잡아요.
So just like it says, the Guru devotion is the root of all the paths.
Okay, good. Thank you, Martin. Getting the tour, getting the tongue, getting to the town.
So Geshe said what he wrote, and the answer is exactly the same as yours, Martin. So he thought maybe you saw his answer.
I'm joking. Get the lam-rim is such a crowd. Not in my TV, so. Get to other the other lam-rim is so. Get the lam-rim is such a lot in my TV.
So I just wrote it just exactly from word what I saw in the book, according to the heading. And so I'm not saying your answer is exactly the same as mine. It's exactly the same as the book.
I'm not saying the answer is my answer, therefore it's right. I'm not saying that. Because the answer is exactly the lam-rim, therefore it's right. Okay, good job. Then any no. Okay, good. Is homework you guys do work? Good. But many people maybe doesn't get the homework. Maybe doesn't saw the homework. Maybe doesn't look the homework. It's okay. Usually I taught you the homeworks, how much the easy. I don't want you to complicate things. Just easy, just simple.
I just sent you the easy homeworks. The general ones.
When we go to the monastery, they keep very
Very difficult, tough questions.
Tough questions, also not, what we call it?
Not the general ones.
Yeah, not the general ones. Then very difficult. Okay? Thank you, everybody. Then we stop here. Happy holiday. Happy tomorrow's a holiday. Yeah. Then tomorrow Marathon Day. Then we have our Harry's tomorrow running. Usually also Devon is more fast. This year he does not.
This year.
He's not ready. Okay, anyway, it's good. We have a representative of the Kurukulla Center. Harry is going to run tomorrow. we can watch him. Okay, thank you. Okay, now we stop.
Thank you, Geshe-la.